In the spirit of making things concise, the title Small Business Program has officially been shortened to just Small Business. Awesome. That's one less word. Or as the RFO team would report to their boss, that's a 33% title reduction. Now, there have been other efficiencies and changes as well. Welcome to the RFO in 5 minutes. We're digging into Part 19. Now, Part 19 does include changes, but at its core, it still reinforces what has always been true. The government must provide maximum practical opportunities to small business. Advancing small business is good. Everyone can get around that. It's the Small Business Act, and it's still very much in play. And 19.101 makes clear that it is the government's policy to maximize opportunities for small businesses and socioeconomic program. Now, what has shifted, however, is tone and emphasis. Now, the RFO reinforces small business participation, to be sure, but not at the expense of mission. Under Part 1's guiding principles, agencies must award contracts to contractors who demonstrate a superior ability to perform, and must spend taxpayer dollars in a way that promotes merit. So yes, small business matters, but so does superior performance, competitive pricing, and mission execution. Organizationally, Part 19 has been cleaned up. The definitions that used to be scattered across the whole Part 19 are now consolidated in 19.001. Lots of good definitions there, but one important definition is fair market price, meaning a price based on reasonable costs under normal competitive conditions. Now that matters because later guidance is going to make clear that you should not set aside work if small businesses are overcharging relative to what the broader market would provide. Small businesses don't get a pass just because they're small businesses. They still have to offer competitive pricing. Now the structure has also been simplified from 15 subparts down to 3. Pre-solicitation in 19.1, evaluation and award in subpart 19.2, and post-award in 19.3. It now mirrors the procurement lifecycle. There's also a helpful roadmap, and that's in 19.101B, and it consolidates small business considerations that used to be scattered everywhere in Part 19 into one helpful roadmap. When in doubt, go there. It's like the Oprah of Part 19. It's guiding you to be your best small business self. Planning for small business starts early, and it begins with your selecting the proper NAICS code, which determines the size standard. Now, each NAICS code has its own threshold, and offers must represent in good faith that they meet that standard. For multiple award contracts, small business status is determined at the base award level, and it carries forward to future orders. Now, all of this feeds into market research, which leads us to the rule of 2. And no, that isn't a name for a contract dating game. For acquisitions above the micro purchase threshold, you must set aside to small business if there is a reasonable expectation of offers from at least 2 responsible businesses, and that those offers will be competitive in terms of fair market price, quality, and delivery. It is a 2-prong test. The second prong is critical. It's not enough that 2 small businesses say that they can do the work. Your small business research must indicate that you will receive competitive pricing and performance comparable to the broader market. Now again, small businesses do not get a pass simply because they are small businesses. Now, interestingly, the rule of 2 does not apply to orders under existing multiple award contracts like GSA Federal Supply Schedules under Part 8, IDIQs, large GWACs. Those vehicles are treated as first resort streamlined tools. And one could argue that this subtly nudges COs away from traditional set-asides, but the RFO leaves that to CO discretion, as articulated in 19.111-2. Speaking of discretion, cue dramatic music. Part 1 emphasizes a renewed CO discretion, power to the CO. But discretion comes with counterbalances. In the small business world, that counterbalance is the SBA Procurement Center Representative, or PCR. Now, every office has one, and they will often challenge your judgment. No, this is still good. Let's keep it going. Now, most PCRs will advocate strongly for small business participation. That's because that's their job. But your job is mission first, consistent with Part 1's guiding principles. Now, when disagreements arise, 19.102F helps you with that process. When I was a CO, I had a strong relationship with my PCR, but I did push back when necessary. They protect small business interests, you protect mission execution. Sometimes those priorities collide. If you're still looking for 2 small businesses, start with the Small Business Search, or SBS, which replaces the Dynamic Small Business Search. RFO efficiency at work, the D has been removed. SBS allows you to identify not only small business generally, but also specific socioeconomic categories like HUBZone businesses or service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses and women-owned small businesses. Let's go back to that useful Oprah roadmap in 19.101B. Now, it essentially consolidates what used to be scattered across Part 19 into a little menu of options and considerations, like total small business set-asides, program-specific set-asides, or sole source awards under certain conditions. If you compete with the socioeconomic category, the formula is consistent. There's a reasonable expectation of 2 eligible firms and fair market price, or fair and reasonable price. For sole source, you must lack a reasonable expectation of these 2 companies, ensure the contractor is responsible, confirm a fair and reasonable price, and remain under what's called the competitive threshold. You may want to pause your screen. We will show the competitive thresholds for all the programs now. One meaningful change involves the 8A program. Previously, 8A sole source awards under the competitive threshold were relatively straightforward. And once a requirement entered 8A, it was difficult to move it elsewhere. Now, before awarding an 8A sole source, contracting officers must first consider competing under existing best-in-class 8A vehicles. These are government-wide vehicles set up for this purpose. Translation: the fast path to sole source 8A just went away, and the 8A companies are going ballistic about this. Now, additionally, 19.101-11 clarifies that a requirement can be withdrawn from 8A if it is properly set aside under HUBZone, service-disabled veteran-owned small business, or women-owned small business. And the old priority order in 19.203 has been removed. Several other key provisions carried over. The non-manufacturer rule still requires that when a small business wins a supply contract, it must generally manufacture the product itself or provide the product to another small business manufacturer, unless there's waivers, and there are plenty of waivers. The certificate of competency still allows SBA to overrule a CO's non-responsibility determination and certify that it is, in fact, responsible for a specific contract. And subcontracting plans are still required for contracts above $900,000 or under $2 million for construction when subcontracting possibilities exist. All right, give me some sad violin here. I've just discovered that the Electronic Subcontracting Reporting System, or ESRS, has officially been decommissioned. Executed. In its place, reporting moves into SAM.gov under the SPR model. They even removed the E, a 25% name reduction. Along with FPDS and other systems, reporting is being consolidated into SAM.gov as part of a broader modernization effort. And one final tweak, subcontracting report submissions move from 30 days to 45 days. A little more breathing room. So, friends, use small business. Many of our nation's small businesses deliver superior performance every day. Use them wisely. Remember the 2-prong test. Remember fair market price. Join us next time as we continue breaking down the FAR overhaul. We'll post some of these on YouTube, of course, but if you want access to every part, you've got to become a member of ASI Education Pro. Contact us to get started. We'll put a link down below. Till next time.